The Eastern Orthodox Church is one of the oldest Christian traditions in the world, and it has preserved a sense of ancient beauty, reverence, and mystery that many people find deeply moving. When you walk into an Orthodox church, the first thing you notice is the atmosphere, the warm glow of candles, the scent of incense drifting slowly through the air, and the quiet presence of icons covering the walls. These icons are not decorations, but windows into the spiritual world, meant to help believers focus their hearts on God. Orthodox worship is almost entirely sung, which creates a flowing rhythm that feels timeless, as if the prayers have been echoing for centuries. The priest, dressed in long, layered vestments, moves with deliberate care, because every gesture in the Divine Liturgy has meaning. Orthodox Christians stand for most of the service, not because they are forced to, but because standing is a sign of respect and active participation. The cross used in Orthodox churches often has extra bars, including a slanted one at the bottom, which symbolizes the two thieves who were crucified beside Jesus, one choosing repentance, and the other turning away. Their worship emphasizes the idea that heaven and earth meet during the liturgy, and that the church becomes a place where the spiritual world feels close enough to touch. Many people misunderstand Orthodoxy because it looks different from Western Christianity, but its traditions are rooted in the earliest centuries of the faith. The Orthodox Church focuses on preserving the teachings and practices handed down from the apostles, believing that the ancient way of worship is still the most faithful way to honor God. Everything, from the chanting, to the incense, to the icons, to the long prayers, is meant to draw the believer into a deeper awareness of God's presence. For Orthodox Christians, faith is not just something you think about, it is something you experience with your senses, your body, and your heart. This is why their worship feels so immersive, so symbolic, and so connected to the past. Even if someone has never attended an Orthodox service before, the beauty and stillness of the tradition often leave a lasting impression, inviting people to slow down, breathe, and encounter the sacred in a way that feels ancient and alive at the same time. Incense in the Eastern Orthodox Church is more than a smell, it's a symbol that fills the entire space with a sense of heaven touching earth. When the priest swings the censer, the soft clinking of the chains and the rising smoke create a moment of stillness that invites everyone to breathe, slow down, and remember that prayer is meant to rise toward God. The censer itself has bells that ring gently with each movement, reminding the congregation that worship is alive, not silent or mechanical. Orthodox Christians believe incense represents the prayers of the people lifting upward, just like the psalm that says, "Let my prayer rise like incense before you." The priest walks around the church, sensing the icons, the altar, and the people, showing that every person present is made in the image of God and worthy of honor. The smell of incense becomes part of the memory of worship, something that stays with people long after they leave the church. Some visitors think incense is just a tradition or a decoration, but for the Orthodox, it is a physical sign of the invisible world. It reminds them that worship is not only words but also sight, sound, movement, and fragrance. The rising smoke becomes a quiet message that God is near, and that the church is a place where heaven and earth meet in a way that feels ancient, sacred, and deeply peaceful.